Hi guys, this is June here and I'm back again on the very same day. Well, why not? Independence Day, so why just make one video? Why not two videos? Well, let me tell you the truth. It's just that right after I finished making my previous video, which was on creative thinking, in regards to hard task activities, I saw that one of my trainee left, a question for me, and she said that she watched the previous videos in regards to how to develop and promote creative thinking in the classroom among students. So she asked me that, June, can you, give some examples of creative skills? And I felt that was a very valid question because I did mention in my previous video that please use creativity as skill. That's very important. Just like we develop listening, reading, speaking skills, creativity should be considered as skills, and that's why the valid question that can you give examples of some creativity as skills, creative skills rather. Yes, of course. So please make a note. The examples of creativity skills, first and foremost, is making connections. Now, how you can do this? So this is very lesson based, specific. So in a lesson, let's say if it's a story, okay, if the lesson is based in a story format, what you can do is you may give some picture cutouts, okay, and even before you tell them the story, you can ask them to to guess what the sequence might be. Or let's say you can give pictures and some cutouts of the sentences and let them make the connection, as in which sentence or words or sentences belongs to which picture. So making connections is very important, so let them make connections, and then you can also instill the same skill in other formats as well. That could be through realia, as in through real objects. Also, you can give them, an object, and you can give them, let's say, some usages, and they can make the connection, so they can do that. Next is asking questions, and this is very, very important. Remember, if you have watched my previous video, like what Leonardo da Vinci would often do, he would just keep writing questions on his notebooks, any questions, and the questions could be so fascinating, as I said, that some of the teachers in the Western country, when they practiced the same habit with even the first or the second grader, they came up with the questions like how does brain functions, and how many people do you think might live in atom, and who invented the keyhole, and how does the key open the keyhole, and many such fascinating questions from such young minds. So asking questions, now asking questions is very important, and I have been practicing this, as in I have been instilling this habit even when I would impart training to my trainees. So I would ask them that you should ask questions, because when you are asking questions, it is not about that you're doubting the knowledge, but asking question is you are thinking beyond, and again you're thinking of many possibilities. So you can always ask that, what if, is it possible that we also thought? So let's say a story and the ending, and they can always come up with questions in regards to the story. What if things happen the other way around? For example, Goldilock and Three Bears. Now this is one of my favorite example, and I often do this in the classroom also. I make my teachers, set questions based on Bloom taxonomy, based on this question. Anyway, so let's say they can ask questions that, What if Goldilock did not enter the house of three bears, and instead Goldilock entered the house of three dogs, or three hippopotamus, or three pigs? What would have happened? What if Goldilock was half human and half bear? How things would have been? Would she still run from the bear house? So question like this, really a fascinating question, and that question can be thrown to the entire class for them to come up with possibilities. So asking question number 2. Number 3, making observations. Now making observations, very self-explanatory. Observing what? It's not when you are teaching and they're observing you. Making observation means you take them outdoor, you make them see a certain plant, or maybe an event, or as simple as just let them observe the sky, as simple as that. They can even observe a flower, and you can even give them a small raisin, and you can just ask them to hold this raisin, close your palm and feel it with your finger. How does it feel? Okay, smell it. How does it smell? This includes mindfulness. Okay, so making observations includes a lot of mindful techniques, and this is a great way to bring their attention to the present moment. And when they're making observation, you will be surprised to see they're coming up with really mind-blowing observations. I mean, something we really don't or we would not really talk about if we saw something at a glance or maybe once, but when we keep looking at it closely, we touch, we feel, make them use all the senses and see what their observations are. And not necessarily they need to speak their observations. They may even write it. They may write a poem. They can even draw. They can even think of the words. They can write the words, and they can, let's say, write a small paragraph, making that object a protagonist. I mean, there are so many ways. There's so many things you can do just by one skill, making observations. Next is experimenting. Well, experimenting is again nothing to do with science. Of course, it can be science-based, but even if you're teaching a subject like history or geography, let them experiment in their own way what they have just learned. And the experiment need not be done in a traditional way. Just let them be in the flow. You just give them, bare minimum objects, or with bare minimum resources, they can also do the experiment in their own way. But let them be on the roll, okay? Let them just do it. Like, for example, like how we would do, when we were young, when there would be like, rainy, hard rain and the rainy season and puddles, we'd make small paper boats and just, make this paper boat sail on the puddles. So very simple, experiment, like give them cotton balls and tell them that make your own clouds, draw. A lot of art and craft activities you can do in the form of experiment. And last but not the least, let them create. And again, when I say let them create, not necessarily that they have to draw, not necessarily that they will have to sketch. Okay, they can create even out of Play-Doh. They can make a vision board. Have you heard of vision board? Like, vision board is something where they can, for example, they can even picturize what they aspire to be, after they graduate, or even, what is that they would like to be. Any dream character. Let them make a vision board. Let them cut pictures of what they fancy about. Let them, stick the pictures. Their vision. Remember, it's their vision. So let them choose the pictures that it's connected to their vision. And vision boards are great and an amazing technique, where children or students, they can really voice about their vision as simple as just by cutting and pasting. And of course, they are free to write, they are even free to draw and decorate their vision boards. So, coming back to creative skills, what are the skills that I just spoke about? First is making connections. And I've already said in how many ways you can make connections. Those are just few. I'm sure you can come up with many more. So making connections, asking questions, very important, making observations, experimenting, and last but not the least, creating. So I hope the second video on this very special day, serves for good use to you, that when it comes to creative skills, what are the creative skills you can enhance through your activities and through your lessons. So once again, guys, happy Independence Day, and enjoy, get going, get creative. Bye-bye.